Don't tell me,
Clothing.
tell me you don't have a sari.
I do have a sari. It's in my closet. It would probably take a few minutes for me to pull out.
Hi everybody, I'm Len Marino, and welcome to the Geezer Show. This episode has been a long time coming, and we are so excited to have Katy Council with us today. Katy is an artist, a Reiki instructor, a member of the Balfour Assisted Living Service team. I met her here at Balfour and was immediately struck by her talents. Our interview today focuses on Katy's passion for travel. Enjoy and welcome Katy Council. Now, did you bring back any great souvenirs from any of the places that you visited?
Oh yeah, I brought back so much stuff. Everything is so inexpensive there. It's almost like you're walking around and looking at things, and you might even buy something that you didn't even need or want just because it's so cheap. The saris, the clothing that the women wear, the traditional clothing, it's just so colorful, and the patterns. I've always loved fabric and embroidery. I'm a seamstress myself, so I've always loved textiles, the batiks that hang on the walls, and the embroidery of the pillows, like the Rajasthani pillows that have mirrors sewn into them. The markets where it's just so full of beautiful things like jewelry and candlesticks and all kinds of, trinkets that I always was drawn to when I went into those, shops looking for my hippie clothes. I do have 3 saris at this point.
Great. Can you model one of them for us?
It actually takes about 20 minutes to put on a sari. They're very long. They're like about, 3 yards of fabric, I think. So when a woman gets ready in a sari, it definitely takes like 20 to 30 minutes to get it ready.
Wow.
Yeah. And of course the food. I've always loved Indian food. I feel like on the menus here, when you go to an Indian restaurant, there's several choices, but I feel like it's sort of the Americanized limited version. When you go to India, there's just so many more choices and styles of food that I'd never seen or heard of before. Also, just how friendly the people are. My friend Sybil and I were on a bus for about 3 hours going from one city to another, and it was a small town, and there was a lot of people getting on and off frequently. And, it was the kind of bus where the windows are all open and people are kind of hanging out the doors and the windows, and there's like a crate of chickens in one of the seats, and it's a little terrifying, unless you're like in a safe vehicle. If you're on foot, you're kind of like, ooh, is it okay to cross? A cow walking down the middle of the street. So everybody, of course, was looking at us because we were the only Caucasians on the bus. They were all like touching us and like, just kind of fascinated with us and wanting to take selfies. And one family like invited us to their home, and we really wanted to go, but we were also like, well, we kind of need to get to this other city because we have a hotel lined up. But pretty much everywhere we went, people welcomed us to their home to come over for a meal, and so they're just very welcoming and friendly. I brought back a set of singing bowls from Nepal. When I was in Kathmandu, I bought 5 of them, and I wanted them to match the tone of the hertz that would match your the chakras. So there's actually been studies done that there are different hertzes that match your chakras. So if you're doing healing or anything like that, then you can choose the one that matches the one that you're working on. Say, for example, your heart chakra, and then the singing bowl would match that tone. And then if you can see this little lamp right there, I brought that back from India. Up there, you can see that framed photo. It's called a thanka, and it's the traditional spiritual like painting that they do in Nepal. It's kind of like a meditation, and each one is unique and different, and it's like a mandala.
Any targeted area that you wish you had gone to when you had the opportunity?
When I was in Israel, I was actually close enough to see on the highway the exit, like next exit, Egypt. But at the time, there was a advisory, like a government advisory, recommending Americans not to visit. I think that was actually 2011 as well. And so it was very dangerous for us to visit at the time. There's a lot of attacks going on. In fact, right before I went to Israel that year, there had been another bombing, like a bus bombing, and my friend had been going to school over there. And the very same bus route that she takes every day to go to school was bombed. She wasn't on the bus, luckily. Egypt has always been interesting to me. I just think about the ancient structures, the pyramids and the sphinxes, and I just really want to learn more about it and go there. But yeah, unfortunately, I was right next to it and couldn't go.
I went to Egypt and went to the pyramids. It was magnificent.
Yeah, well, you'll have to show me some pictures sometime.
Okay. Where would you like to go next that you've never been?
Well, Japan has been on my list for a long time. The Japanese culture is very interesting, and also they're very friendly, and I've always been drawn to islands and water. Actually, I did have a plan to go to Japan in, I think it was 2011. I'd been saving up to go, and that was the next country on my list. That's the year that the tsunami happened over in Japan. So I ended up not going that year. We sort of shelved that trip to go in 2024. However, I'm also turning 50 next year, and I told myself that I wanted to go to a foreign tropical island somewhere. I love snorkeling. It's one of my favorite things to do. I think I was a mermaid in a past life. And many of the places that I visited were actually because I wanted to go snorkeling. Like the Philippines is absolutely gorgeous for snorkeling, and Indonesia was amazing. Actually, Israel had some amazing snorkeling as well. So yeah, that's my goal in the next few months, is to select a destination, like Fiji or Tahiti or the Grand Cayman Islands. So I just want to go to a beautiful beach where, it's like white sand and crystal turquoise water.
Tell us just how you got to Balfour and how that works for your life now.
So I was actually a teacher for 10 years, and when I moved to Colorado in 2013, which I can't believe has been almost 10 years now, I decided I didn't want to teach anymore, and I had been doing catering. So I started working for a catering company here in Denver, and at one point at Balfour, they were short-staffed. And so our manager, Rachel, reached out to the owner of my catering company, Steven, and asked if he could provide some staff to help out with some shifts at Balfour. And I came to help out at Balfour, and they thought I did a great job, and so then they offered me a job. And so I thought, well, this would be a nice way to fit in with the catering. I also have a Reiki business called Twin Hawk Reiki. And the three of those fit together perfectly because I build my own schedule every week. And if I have, 5 shifts for catering or Balfour, then that fills in my week. But then if someone books a session, then I can block it off and be available for those people.
Can you tell Dad and me what is Reiki exactly?
Reiki is healing energy work. So for example, my mom, who wasn't really a believer in Reiki for a long time when I was getting my certification, she was like, I just don't believe that it works. And so I came home for Thanksgiving, and she was in the kitchen all day, making all this wonderful food, and her back started to hurt. So she says, oh man, my back is just killing me. And I said, well, let me give you some Reiki. And she's like, okay, I don't really think it's gonna work, but so I just came up to her and just put my hands on the lower part of her back, and after a couple minutes she said, oh wow, I can feel it. It actually feels tingly, and the pain's going away. So then the whole rest of the day she kept thanking me and saying, wow, that was amazing, thanks for helping me with my back pain. There are at least a couple thousand hospitals around the country that use Reiki. Is an organization that pairs Reiki practitioners with cancer patients so that they can have sessions weekly or monthly. And the Reiki session helps the person with pain, or maybe they've been having anxiety, it kind of helps calm their anxiety, or it helps them like with their appetite and getting some rest. Reiki is a pretty amazing thing, and I enjoy doing it. It's good for the physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental aspects that one might need for healing.
Sounds awesome, Dad. We might need some Reiki.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to thank you for sharing the interesting experiences that you've had. And I want to thank you for being a guest on our show.
Well, thank you, Len. I really appreciate you inviting me, and I was looking forward to this. And I've always enjoyed having our conversations in the dining room and hearing about your travels as well.
And I look forward to you coming back with more adventures.
Hopefully I'll get to see all the continents.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too now.
Bye.